time I'm going to make a video by casting a ChatterBait. I'm going to show you how I do a skipping with a ChatterBait. You can see that the ChatterBait is different from skipping jig. It is much more difficult to skip a ChatterBait. What I'm using is Casking's new reel. It's called iReel 2. This is iReel 2. It's all made of magnesium. And I'm not using iReel 2 in the same way as suggested by Casking. I am using it without touching the app. I'm not even using the app. I'm not even using the phone. I am just using the default drag setting for this reel. And it breaks beautifully. It does everything like it should. All I have to do, two things. Number one, since this tension knob is set, you cannot turn it. It's set to be very, very loose. I turn it just teeny, like half a turn, to make this, the spool, not wiggling, because the way they set it, it will wiggle. So it is still the loosest setting for this. Second thing is that I only rely on this. This should allow you to cast the longest distance or has the maximum break. You don't need to mess with the computer inside. You don't need to mess with the app. You don't need to mess with the setting. There are 6 settings for this reel. You can do that through the app and through your phone. But if you don't want to, you don't have to deal with that. All you have to do is that use this as your only setting. Okay, now, when you cast, what is the key to the success of casting this? The key to this, 2 things are crucial. Number one, this rod has to be able to bend. So the ratio of the weight and the rod is crucial, because this, if it's too light, it won't be able to bend. If it's too heavy, it'll bend too much. Of course, if it's too heavy, you can still adjust it, which means that you can adjust its weight by shortening the distance or the length, or lengthening the distance between the lure and the tip of the rod to adjust weight of it. But why do you want to do that? Because the key to make this happen is to make this rod bend enough. Make this rod bend enough. Of course, watch my other videos. In other videos, I've talked about the rods for skipping. All rods for skipping has to be made in a way that it has 20% and 80% ratio. So 20% of that will bend, which means that it's a stiffer rod, relatively speaking. It will bend the top 20% of the rod. But in order to make this happen, see, I am skipping a ChatterBait because the ChatterBait has this top which prevents it from skipping smoothly. This top makes it difficult to skip. So it is more difficult to skip a ChatterBait than a regular jig. Now, in order to make this happen, of course, reel setting, but the key is you have to make this bend enough. Not too much, not too little. That's the key. Now, I have also talked about, watch my other videos, that I've made so many videos about skipping. I also talked about how you make that bend. Watch my other videos about the 3 methods of casting skipping. This, what I'm using, is the method that I'm most comfortable with. It's called the combination of the 2. Watch other videos. So when you bend, you go back and do this. You get and do this. So in a way, can you see that? That's what it is. If you like my videos, please subscribe. I'm gonna make some more. Thank you.